Welcome back to Conscious Ground Sound, your source for the best music, both past and present. In light of my last review of Father John Misty's Pure Comedy, I decided to review the album Gentle Spirit by Jonathan Wilson, who was the producer of Pure Comedy. Gentle Spirit was first released August 8, 2011 on Bella Union in the United Kingdom, before its official US release, and as a result received some praise from the likes of Mojo Magazine as the number 4 best album of 2011, and The Guardian UK giving it a number 28 ranking. Given its initial foreign release and its relative obscurity as a premiere album, Gentle Spirit is a little-known gem that has some great material, making it well worth the listen and time out for a review. Jonathan Wilson is a musician and producer who revived the Laurel Canyon folk rock psychedelic scene by way of his Laurel Canyon studio, where he recorded Gentle Spirit, along with projects by many other prominent artists. The mixing of Gentle Spirit was done in LA when Wilson made his transition to his Echo Park location at 5 Star Studios. Jonathan Wilson self-produced Gentle Spirit and played all of the instruments on the majority of the tracks on the album with some help from friends, most notably Chris Robinson's background vocals on the track Ballad of the Pines. The album on the whole has an empathetic sound and lyrics that allude to the turmoil of the times with a theme of the natural world woven throughout. The album starts in an unexpected way with a jazzy, McCoy Tyner sounding piano intro that gives way to acoustic guitar, a mellotron, and the heartfelt singing and lyrical delivery by Wilson on the track Gentle Spirit. The lyrics seem to make quite a direct reference to the constant bombing of places in the Middle East, with the lyric, 100 blowing up in the headlines, we've seen it all before, the powers are killing the paupers, for some idea of God or whoever, gentle spirit, find our hearts. This song is a cry for sanity and humanity in the world. Wilson's album cover also has some interesting symbology that makes me believe that he is referring to the exploitation and destruction of the Arab world in this song, in the way he uses Arabic letters in his album title and name, and the image of what looks like the Egyptian pyramids in the Nile River. The title track Gentle Spirit was performed entirely by Jonathan Wilson and is perhaps the empathetic muse that much of the album is based upon. Perhaps the most impressive part of Gentle Spirit are the ultra-high falsetto vocals, which are definitely in the male stratosphere. The next track, Can We Really Party Today, seems to follow the theme of Gentle Spirit, and in this time of war begs the question of the song title. There are verdant and evocative images of nature in the lyrics, juxtaposed to the guilty excess of the title chorus. Wilson sings, follow me down to the divine lakes with the canopy overhead, lavender pickin' dry, keep the pillow for your head at night. Chase the wolf to the ragged river den where the stormy weather stays outside. The beaver still chops the pine. Everybody has a lovely time. Can We Really Party Today is a beautiful folk song that once again opens up into an expansive refrain much like Gentle Spirit. This track really reminds me of a Chris Koza track in voice and in the folky finger-picking guitar. Can We Really Party also features Jonathan Rice, a collaborator of Jenny Lewis, who appears on background vocals for a nice effect. All of the allusions to nature thus far culminate with the third track, Desert Raven, which is an anthropomorphic statement of religious naturalism. The track starts with modulating synthesizer noise and gives the visual impression in my mind of a raven flying above a desert landscape, surveying the terrain. It's a brilliant intro that gives way to the smoothest groove and guitar melody that I've heard since Seals and Croft or the Allman Brothers. Desert Raven is a track that will have you hitting repeat over and over again and wanting to jump in the car for a road trip. This is yet again another track entirely performed by Wilson, which is pure perfection. The mesmerizing refrain in Desert Raven goes like this. The raven who flies through the desert sky is wiser than you or me. The birds have a peace, the stillness a sleeve, and the desert raven, he has poetry. The harmonized guitar lines are very reminiscent of the Allman Brothers' long melodic phrases, and they capture the poetry of the song with precision. Check the link in the description box for the song and video, a must listen. The track Canyon in the Rain seems to be a snapshot of the natural beauty of Laurel Canyon with the sound of light rainfall recorded in the background. The song has the bass and guitar phrasing of Sun King off the Beatles' Abbey Road. The continued nature theme flows through the dreamy song Natural Rhapsody, which has the feel of a psychedelic Pink Floyd song with some Jerry Garcia-like guitar lines. Natural Rhapsody really shows the skill and musicianship of Jonathan Wilson as he plays riveting, virtuosic guitar solos through key-changing guitar chords, with expansive drum fills and creative bass lines, all of which are played exclusively by him. This far into the album, it's clear even upon first listen that this is an extraordinary album to say the least. Gentle Spirit also has a cover of The Way I Feel by Gordon Lightfoot, but it sounds more akin to a Tim Buckley track off Greetings from LA that has been changed into a soul number. The Way I Feel has a great Hammond organ solo and reverb-drenched guitar solo played by Wilson. The track Don't Give Your Heart to a Rambler is a vintage-sounding guitar waltz with sweet Hammond organ lines and the recorded sound of children playing in the background. It sounds like a cross between a whispery Tom Waits song with lyrics you expect to find on a Lee Hazelwood album. Woe Is Me is an interesting track that fluctuates between a bubbly folk guitar line and an electric guitar riff resembling Black Sabbath's Planet Caravan. The track Waters Down is an exclamation that people want peace in the world. The apex of the track is the ending synthesizer drone that catches us by surprise and sounds remarkably like the grinding synth sound at the end of the Radiohead song Karma Police, which on OK Computer leads into the following track, Fitter Happier. Gentle Spirit is an amalgamation of folk with many disparate styles mixed in, and the song Rolling Universe with its jazzy drum sound and folk guitar lines is a good example of this dichotomous nature. Rolling Universe is a dream state free verse that has cello accompaniment, some strange disjointed lyrics, and a repeated refrain. The album meanders to a close with the song Magic Everywhere, a natural mystic song. And the final track, Valley of the Silver Moon, a 10-minute departing statement that is a spiritual conjuring that brings to mind Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and the guitar sound and riff from Ohio. The song also reminds me of the expansive guitar landscapes of Richard Thompson on the Grizzly Man soundtrack. Overall, I give Gentle Spirit a 9 out of 10 rating for its vintage psychedelic folk sound that melds many of the sounds of the Laurel Canyon scene of the 1960s and 70s, and overall reveals a tremendous talent in Jonathan Wilson as a songwriter, musician, and producer. Given that Gentle Spirit is his debut album, this is quite a feat. Gentle Spirit is a compassionate and mystic album that has clever songwriting and an innate sensibility for melding musical styles, which creates a rich universe for the listener to explore. A musical journey well worth your time. This has been another review for Conscious Ground Sound. Check the links in the description box to hear the album and connect to Jonathan Wilson videos of interest. If you enjoyed this review, like the video and subscribe to receive updates on new albums and classic reviews alike.